My personal best in competition is 460. I've done 470 in the gym a long time ago. Whether I've caught up, whether I've gone to the same strength again, I don't know. I'm hoping that I've exceeded that. I feel more statically strong now, but my stamina is next to nothing. I've sacrificed a very good base when I could run, bicycle, very good cardiovascular shape at around 160 kilograms, and I put 20 something kilograms on top of that now, and I'm hoping that it will be worth the weight gain, because I've never lifted at this weight before. So
what are you weighing in at?
I've weighed myself just over 180, and then I dropped about 9 kilograms. I caught that up again, and I've exceeded that a little bit. I went over 181 for at least a morning. I feel heavy, feel very heavy and pale.
Your training's been looking really strong, looking very, very fast. You put on a suit as well?
Yeah, I put on a suit. It feels good. I can bend down in this one. I like it. It's in a cool color. I like the color. And yes, I feel I'm not tired because I've just been training light. I've been training light for a longer period now, instead of having like a heavier phase of training, and just keeping it light the whole way through, and then just see how much I can deadlift on the day.
Eddie Hall, who obviously has been making a lot of noise.
Yeah. My hearing is not that good. I have no idea what he's saying.
Do you like to keep pretty much to yourself when you sort of like keep off all of that? You were saying your Facebook's just been like...
Yeah, well, I want to like Eddie. He's always really nice when we meet up in person, but it seems to be that he gets a lot of attention for not being liked. I'm told. I don't know why.
Do you think he sort of plays like what you'd call a heel in wrestling, that sort of
I don't
villain of the base?
I don't know. I mean, I've beaten all the best before in deadlift. I haven't lost, I think, in 11 years. And I think the only way he can win is if I don't show up.
Have you seen any of his lifts lately? Any of his training lifts or?
No. I mean, I fully believe that Eddie can deadlift over 500 kilograms. And to be fair, I'm guessing he takes things more seriously than I do. And he does compete in Strongman, which is probably an advantage, because it means he's always trained within the Strongman rules of lifting.
How much of a difference do you think it makes, that sort of the powerlifting style to the strongman style?
For me, I found it more difficult to train with the straps. I find it more difficult to put the suit on. It's uncomfortable, but it allows me to be less mobile, not think about I can leave behind some weak links that I don't need to strengthen, and then substitute that with straps and a suit. I believe I can be stronger without it, solely because that's what I've built my base around for over half my life now.
If that's the case, why are you wearing a suit then?
Because I want to win. if a suit can help me survive training a few more sets over 400 kilograms rather than only maybe 6 weeks. It's allowed me to prolong my lifespan of training phase for an extended period of time without getting too protruded, without getting my abs too overworked, without my central nervous system to collapse.
Like overtraining and sort of burning yourself out. So with that, I don't know if you've seen, but Brian Shaw's been posted a video talking about there shouldn't be any suits allowed in the competition. What are your thoughts on that?
I think if they didn't allow suits, if you had to wear a skirt, I could very well imagine Brian liking those rules and still beat him. I think people will always be masters of what they do or masters of excuses. Now, if you want to be a master of excuses, you've already lost, haven't you? Now, it's a competition, it's fun. I don't care what the rules are, as long as we all follow it. But believe me, if they allow me to have forced air injection to my lungs so I can hold on to the bar for a bit longer, I'll do that. What I think Brian Shaw is afraid of is that he's maybe thinking, where does this end? You know, how much modifications do you do before you're banned? I have a fake titanium screw in my finger. I've got neoprene behind my abs and some titanium corners. I've got a titanium hook from my bicep to my bone. Maybe I'm illegal, maybe he should ban me from competing, maybe he shouldn't be competing against someone so modified.
Bionic Benni. Posted up, it was a banded deadlift.
Somebody told me about Brian Shaw's lift, but he doesn't accept my friend request on Facebook, probably because he's got too many followers. So I don't see his videos, but someone in the gym was watching it on their phone, and I caught a glimpse of it. And I don't know if it's the same video I saw that you were talking about, but he was using some bands, which is interesting. Which is probably a clever idea, because with that bar and with all that weight, especially when you get up to this body weight, your body becomes a little bit too vulnerable to fast movements. And I found that with the straps and everything, you have to pull a lot slower to keep yourself safe from injury. But doing that in training makes it so that's what your nerves get used to, and you will have to do that eventually in competition. So you can't catch that speed and that momentum to go beyond your knees or wherever your weakest point is. I believe maybe with Brian Shaw, he's trying to increase the weight where his weakest point is in his lift, which is clever. I mean, he must be clever, he's one world's strongest man.
The other American that's coming over just for the deadlift is Jerry Pritchett, who was competing there last year as well.
Yes.
A lot of people are saying he's a bit of a dark horse for this competition, looking very strong but not making much noise.
Yeah. Is that the fact? Is he not making much noise?
He's
Or maybe he's just not being heard.
it might be a case of not being heard, in fairness to him. But he's been pulling some, I think it was a 427 deadlift.
Yes.
Maybe a double, maybe a single, but it looked rather comfortable. Looks like he's coming into it quite strong. Did you get to talk to him last year?
I believe so, yes. Now, what is the question?
Just what are your thoughts on him potentially being one of the ones pushing for the 500?
It's hard to say. I haven't really seen his lifts that much. Not like, I mean, I've seen Eddie's lifts a lot, and I can see why he's so good. I can also see that he could be better, but then again, I think there isn't a week of my life that passes where I don't see someone that can be better than me. But that's just not what it takes.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is that you got to be able to see things clearly where you go wrong and what you're doing right, and then just focus on what you're doing right, and then just eliminate the wrong factors by doing more and more things right. Whereas I've seen a lot of focus on what you're doing wrong and trying to just fix what you're doing wrong. Now there are endless possibilities of what you're doing wrong or what you can do wrong. I mean, the list goes on. But you can prioritize 10 things in your training that you can do perfect and you can do right that will get you to the top very easily. But that takes maintaining a super focus. And that super focus, no matter who you are, you're not born with it. You got to acquire it by practice. And I see a lot of lifting without focus. And I see a lot of guys that can be stronger than me, both because they have a physical advantage, they have an athletic advantage, they have a background advantage from other sports, etc. But they're not. And it's got nothing to do with their physical abilities now today. It's got to do with their ability to focus. And I think Eddie can focus on more things to do perfect.
Terry Hollands was down and training with us, well, with you. Was I training? I lifted that day. He was training with us, Benny. He was training with us.
Training with us.
Lifting a lot more than me. Quite a few weeks ago, and he pulled 400.
Yeah.
Again, he started to look quite strong. He pulled 450 in training not that long ago. Do you think he could be one to be sort of pushing for not necessarily the top spot, but a top 3 placing?
Almost definitely. When I first saw Terry Hollands, he deadlifted 260 and he failed 270. Yet I said, this guy can pull more than me. I mean, he's got these enormous hips and this enormous structure to him. I mean, this guy can go over 500. But his focus is strongman. He wants to be world's strongest man. Now he's been to the finals how many times? Wow. 7 times or something.
More than that, I think.
Which is good, which is really good. And for someone to do that and also maintain his static strength like that, I think is very impressive. Whether he will do, you know, first place, third place, I don't know. Yeah. You know, I don't know how his training is. I've seen him do okay in training, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's got 440. And then does nothing for a long period of time. And he comes up here and does 400 quite easily, but he's tired. And I don't know how much he gets from his rest. I know for myself, as soon as I rest, I get 20% increase immediately just from the rest alone. Now, with Terry, seeing how tired he was, still being able to lift like that, and the travel taken into account, etc. It wouldn't surprise me if he went over 450. It wouldn't surprise me if he did 465. I don't think people are expecting that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think you're right. The last guy to talk about is fellow Icelander, What is that? What's the phrase? Icelander?
Icelander.
Yeah.
I could tell you the Icelandic version of it.
Go on, throw it out there.
Íslendingur.
Damn, no, I can't say
Yeah.
that. So that's Hathor Bjornsson. He pulled, I want to say 450 last year when he was there, but he grinded it up, but it went up.
Yeah.
And then his training's been looking pretty strong as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen any of that.
Oh yeah, I follow his training. I look at everything he does. I'm a big fan. I of course support him not because he's Icelandic, but because he is a friend. He's not perfect, and I think that's probably why he hasn't won World's Strongest Man yet. I think he will. I hope he will. But now he needs to win Europe's Strongest Man again. And the British guys are looking pretty strong. So it's not going to be free.